Hi Pisces, how are we today? Just doing our weekly readings today, but today we are doing the monthly readings, okay? So looking ahead at October, what the energy has in store for you. All right, make sure you do subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Click the notification bell and all that good stuff. Leave me a comment. Let me know if there's anything that you would like me to delve into readings-wise. And today we are going to be using, starting off with the Mystic Dreams Oracle. I am using the Career and Money Oracle. I also have here the Red Rose Love Oracle. All right, and then clarifying everything today with the Primitive Lenormand. All right, so brand new Lenormand deck, guys. Brand new sign. Let me know what you think of that. It's it's got a fairy this time, so at least I've got the fairy mixed in there. So I was a bit happier with that sign. Okay, Pisces. What is going on for our Pisces throughout October? Most important energies for Pisces to be aware of throughout October. October 2025 for Pisces. Okay. Oh, okay. We've got two that want to make themselves known. Starting off here with, I can't remember which of the air signs had this, but one of the air signs did have this same card. That's the half-hearted card. Okay, your true self coming out a little bit here. So it does talk about, being sort of half in, half out, that you're coming out of your shell, that your true self is showing a little bit more this month, Pisces. It's very strong sort of energy, that one there. We will specify as we go through, what exactly that is in regard to. That particular card, it does seem to speak to very specific things. So we will delve into that one there. But we do also have Full of Promise, the Grounded and In Reach. You can see the moon sitting there on the sand at the beach there. So it's well within your reach. Everything is sort of full of promise for you at the moment, that you're keeping yourself quite grounded, and everything that you want is within reach at the moment for you, Pisces. But we will clarify what that's talking about here a little bit deeper. Okay, Pisces. October 2025 for our Pisces. What does Pisces need to know for October, please? Okay, so that's wanting to talk about that Full of Promise, that Grounded Moon card. So I will just grab a couple extra specifically for that half-hearted energy. What's that half-hearted energy for our Pisces, please? Okay, so I will start off with that half-hearted energy here. Okay, so your true self and coming out. It's kind of, the first card we have here is the heart. Okay, so we're definitely seeing, issues around love and your heart space. So it may not, doesn't necessarily need to be, romantic love that we're looking at here. It's also, the card of unconditional love and that sort of promise as well, that I'm going to be there for you to support you, Pisces. But we do see here the stork coming through, followed by the incense burner. Okay, so the incense burner is always a bit of a clue when we see that come out, because it's a very cleansing energy. It's very, when the smoke clears kind of energy, that sometimes we do need a bit of confusion and that cloud energy. We're in the smoke. We're currently in the smoke, and we can't see clearly ahead of ourselves to know where we're going. That's probably why you do have this half-hearted energy coming through for you, because you're just sort of in the smoke at the moment and going through the final steps of that cleansing in order to clear out that smoke and know exactly where we're going to from here. And alongside the stork energy there, it's kind of talking about, stirring up new ideas, coming up with new ideas and new perspectives on where you want to go once that smoke clears. So at the moment, it's kind of like everything sort of swirling around in front of you, all this promise of so many different things that you could move towards with your heart space here. Fresh ideas, new perspectives, your heart getting sort of stirred up and stirred into, wanting to take action, just not entirely knowing exactly what that action entails. Because for a lot of you here, it's about clearing out and cleansing the heart space. So, things that haven't worked for you in love, and whether that be platonic love or romantic love, those sorts of things, you're really sort of clearing out those energies at the moment, and so that you can sort of come up with new perspectives on where to go next, and really ready to sort of step out and flow into the love states there, and come out into love spaces. But right now we're just sort of doing that final cleanse kind of thing, and really stirring up things. It's kind of that preparation for when I do step out into the heart zone. So for a lot of you, there is some sort of important preparation, I suppose, for love coming up this month, where you are, just sitting back a little bit on the whole love front, whether it be, romantic or platonic, just sitting back a little bit at the moment, and just you're not fully committing to anything, because you are just sort of waiting until the smoke clears before you do start taking any action. At the moment, you're really kind of, it's like the example that it's showing me here is that, if for those of you who, are seeing somebody romantically, just sort of, you've just started seeing somebody romantically, or you just meet somebody romantically throughout October, you're not really sure exactly where the actions that you want to take here, whether this is something that you want to just keep on a casual level, or whether this is something you want to, push further along, and things like that. So you're kind of just sitting back a little bit at the minute, and just sort of waiting, and just sort of seeing, what happens as that smoke clears around you, as the stuff you've dealt with in the past sort of cleanses out of your system, and we're moving through the smoke there, and coming up with new ideas on, is this even what I want? Is this person even the ideal that I want to set for myself? Those sorts of things. So there's definitely, like, taking into account the potential that some fresh idea might come to you in this phase. So I'm just kind of feeling for a lot of you that it's just kind of a bit of just not taking action until you're 100% sure, that you're holding back a little bit this month when it comes to your heart space, that you're not committing fully to anything. You're not fully out, but you're not fully in either. You're half in, half out. Really trying to work out what it is that your true self desires with this stuff. Waiting for that incense to clean your zones, so that you can see very, very clearly, and know what actions to take when you are ready to take actions. So it's kind of just you finding your grounded energy at the moment, I feel here, Pisces, especially with them cards coming out together, that that there is a lot of promise ahead, and everything is well within your reach. And it's kind of like, I'm just not going to reach for it until I'm 100% sure that I want to jump all in. It's kind of like, if I'm not 100% in, I'm not willing to move on that until I'm sure one way or another exactly where I want to go here. Right now, I'm just finding stability within my own self, and grounding myself, and my emotions as well here, because with that grounded energy here, firstly we have the feminine coming through. So we are just seeing you sort of nurturing and healing and growing and, you know, definitely nurturing your own emotional self and, you know, once again, cleansing out any emotions that are no longer serving you from the past and things like that. You may still just sort of be holding on to a few things here and there from the past that you're clearing that out at the moment and just nurturing the more positive intentions and feelings within yourself. We do see the mountain here. So you are putting the work in at the moment to take care of yourself and to focus on, you know, how can I best stabilize myself? We have the home here as well, the house card, which does talk about stability and security. You know, so you're putting in that work to overcome any lingering obstacles from the past. Climb those mountains so that we can just really focus on, you know, making sure that we're coming from a very secure foundation before we do make any big moves here. So just sort of just tying up loose ends, I suppose, this month when it comes to yourself and your emotions, and before you're sort of jumping into anything this month, you're, you know, just tying up those loose ends and making sure that you are fully stable right where you are now before you go and, you know, jump into anything that might potentially throw you off your stability, you know. But nothing really dramatic, Pisces. It's just where you're at this month is just stabilizing, you know, just those last little bits of stabilization within your own self, making sure you are very grounded and emotionally stable. Career and money. What's going on in October for Pisces when it comes to career and money? Career and money for Pisces in October. We have the pendulum. Okay, so fluctuating income, indecisions, new strategies. It can talk about seasonal work, job changes, or making choices with career. Okay, so once again, that indecision. If I'm not 100% all in, I'm not going to make any moves at all. I'm just going to sit and wait until I know exactly what I'm doing here, which definitely makes sense with this turtle energy as well. The turtle energy is very slow moving energy, very slow, you know, sitting back and just, you know, steadily moving along, not racing into anything, not jumping into anything until we're 100% sure. Okay, so money coming slowly but steady progress. You know, career-wise, it does talk about, you know, potentially moving for work or making changes. So once again, we had the job changes with the pendulum there and seasonal work, making choices. And so for some of you, you are sort of starting to come up with new ideas on what you're doing with your whole life here, work-wise as well as just in general there. So some of you may be sort of considering moving for work, not necessarily right now, but you know, in good time, long-term energy. So you may be thinking about, you know, okay, well, if I want to do this in my career, you know, what are the things I need to do a year from now, 2 years from now? Do I need to move for work? You know, in the long term, will I need to move to get better job opportunities and those sorts of things? You know, slow and steady wins the race. There's no point to jumping into anything at the minute. It's just sort of slowly plodding along for you this month. There may be some choices coming up, but it's not so much choices for the right here and right now. It's choices for the long term, things that I want to start thinking about, you know, getting ideas on where I want to be, you know, long term and the things that I might need to start thinking about now in order to have those things longer term for myself. Okay, so once again, just sort of seeing you in a very half-hearted energy there, not sort of racing on into anything, just sitting back and allowing things to just sort of plod along, I suppose. It feels like it's one of those months, Pisces, where it's nothing really dramatic going on for you this month. It's just that slow and steady wins the race, so you're just sort of chipping away at life one day at a time this month, all right? But what about love and romance for our Pisces in October? Love and romance for Pisces in October. Some of you definitely meeting somebody new this month. But once again, I still am getting that I'm not jumping into it straight away kind of thing. Until I'm 100% sure, I'm not jumping on in. I'm going to wait until, there's nothing that's clouding my vision on this. I'm not just going to jump on in blindly. We do see the blowing kiss energy coming through here. Unconditional love, giving and receiving, fairness and love, affections returned. So I do feel, a lot of you are focusing a little bit more on the unconditional sides of love this month. You're not jumping into things that aren't going to suit you in the long term. You're really thinking about, well, hang on, is this something that can be, long term, a part of my heart, unconditionally, or is this something that feels shorter term? Once again, need to cleanse myself and make sure I'm coming from stable footing in order to make those decisions. Thinking about the sorts of unconditional love that do already exist in your life, so whether that's friends or family and those sorts of things, you're just sort of really a bit of gratitude there, I feel, for you, just giving and receiving. I am picking up that for some of you here, there's a particular person in your unconditional love sphere that you do love this person unconditionally, and they do care about you unconditionally. But I am just getting an energy here of needing to remind each other of that. That it feels like a family member or a close friend that you maybe haven't expressed to them how much you do unconditionally love them, and things like that. You haven't maybe seen them for quite a long time, or you're unable to travel to them and things like that. So or you're both off doing your own lives, as life happens. Maybe just the need to express that to each other, give and receive a little bit of love to each other. I'm hearing word vomit as well. The phrase word vomit it just popped up too, so that may be relevant for some of you. We do have the Cupid's arrow coming through, so that's the new love energy. Have faith, love is coming, surprise invitations, and struck by love. So some of you are getting sort of kind of that energy of being asked out on a date out of nowhere. You're very unexpectedly being asked out on a date. You're kind of like, oh, I look horrible today, and someone still approached me and asked me out on a date. That's so weird, but it's kind of just this, the reminder to just have faith that, when you are ready to jump all in, that you do have availability for that, coming in here. I do feel some of you specifically are being struck by love this month. So you are meeting somebody maybe very important to you this month. For others of you that are already in connections, it's kind of just like that moment where you're feeling very struck by love, like struck by the fact that, wow, I do really love this person unconditionally. And it kind of just strikes you sort of one day that that's a part of my life, that's an unconditional part of my life. And, it's just, you just didn't, like, you knew it, but you just didn't know it. And you're just having this moment this month where you're just very struck by the fact that it's an unconditional love. We do also see ascending coming through here, Pisces. Learning and expansion, transcending, preparing for union and new phases. All right. So those of you in connections, once again, it's that struck by love. It's that, oh, okay, well, now I'm entering into this new phase of understanding that this is something very, long-term, unconditional. And for those of you where you are meeting somebody new and whatnot, it's that learning and expansion of hang on, well, what exactly am I looking for? I'm waiting for that smoke to clear, like we saw before, coming up with new ideas and perspectives on what it is that you're, wanting to move towards and transcend, the past that you've been through there, so that you are more prepared to come into union here. Once again, nothing hugely dramatic here, Pisces. Anything else that Pisces does need to know about this month? Anything else that Pisces needs to know about for October? Is there anything dramatic hiding in amongst it all for Pisces throughout October, please? And just one more. Not really, Pisces. Firstly, we have the crossroad followed by the sun. Okay, so we are seeing a second card that is referring to you having some sort of choice this coming up this month, but I feel like it's more about, once again, the long journey, the long path being revealed to you here. That's what you're having revealed to you. That you're having some epiphanies about, where you want to be in the long term, and what choices you need to start thinking about making for the long term. It's or choices. It's not even choices that you're having to make now. Once again, it's not feeling like now. It's feeling like, okay, well, in a couple of years, I need to make this choice. So I don't know exactly what that means for a lot of you, but that is the card of self, epiphanies. So it will be revealed to you regardless. But this choice, this journey, it's more about just understanding the path that you're walking upon a little bit clearer by the end of the month here. I feel, and what leads you to happiness? What's taking you to happiness? What path feels the most like happy to you with your journey here? And then we do have the scythe and the anchor. So once again, it's very similar to that struck by love energy I was talking about. This one is more about, you're breaking free from things that no longer serve you. You're breaking free from your own past a lot here, Pisces, this month. It's just that, once again, that tying up loose ends, getting rid of those last little bits and pieces that you needed to break free from. You're cutting loose anything that's, not working for you here, just so that you can stabilize yourself and keep yourself steady as she goes, kind of thing. It is heading into grounded stability energy for you this month. The anchor it's like knowing that you can rely on. There is this weird message coming through about like change is inevitable. You can depend on change, and you're kind of all for it this month. You're kind of like, well, I'm not scared of change anymore. Change is actually it usually works out to be a good thing one way or another, and I'm not so hesitant to make changes because I know that I can rely on myself being able to get through those changes, that I'm willing to put in the work to deal with those things and accept any changes that take place, and I can sort of hold myself steady, and I know that I can rely on everything working out for me and stabilizing again. Even when things go a little bit crazy, I know that I'm very stable and secure in my own self. So if you don't feel like that right now, you will by the end of October. There's a lot of stability for you this month, Pisces, and it's very much you know just tying up loose ends, and nothing hugely dramatic. Once again, coming through here, that may change. Time is an illusion, as they sort of want to say. But so keep an eye out for future readings. There may be some stuff for you guys in the shadow work reading coming out next week. So keep an eye out for that one. If you are tying up loose ends, that shadow work reading, I feel like may have some of those loose ends sort of tied in a pretty little bow for you, to be honest. It's kind of what it's telling me. But we'll see how we go, Pisces. This month, like I said, nothing hugely dramatic, but sometimes no news is good news, right? But that's what we have for you. You're more than welcome to check out your other placements, of course. Subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you all again soon.